What's up, Ghosts? It's Spaceman here with the third and final addition to the Visual Intel Guide series. Sector 3, we have less intel options, so I also included the travel from Sector 2 to 3, as there will be many opportunities to break up into groups and get to your locations quicker. Now, as you can see, we're taking the boat to the location just past the missile site where there are 3 electric motorcycles in the woods. Now, if you do not have someone going directly to Red Phoenix in a second boat, you're going to want to let one person out here at these rocks so they can sneak in the front of the missile site and take that Jeep up to the checkpoint to get the fourth bike, which is the next closest one. We found that it is much easier to take bikes into Sector 3 because not only are they easier to take out of any angles the snipers might have on you, but they're quieter and they get spotted very, takes a lot longer to spot them. And you can get the doors open, squeeze through faster. The snipers, you don't have to stop take out the snipers because you can generally get through before they can even get a shot off at you. Ideally, what you want to do, as this person's doing this, obviously the other 3 are going to get the bikes off to the left, to the west in the woods. And what you would like to do is all go through the gate. Maybe have one person go through and open it, and have everyone else entering the base as the gate begins to open at speed. As you can see, I got on the bike, and hopefully while I was doing that, my teammates were getting out of their 3 bikes. I apologize. And following the paths right up. And like I said, you'll go through, you can cut the corner. And the way we've seen it is the person would generally be coming up with the Jeep right behind the people on the bikes right here. So what I just did on the Jeep, I would be doing right about now. So as the first 4 people, you usually want to cut that corner, don't go around it. Lava is too close. But the first person will go in, stay to the right a little bit so the snipers can't get you. Here's when everybody else comes through. And ideally, you'll be going through in single file. Now, there's a couple different ways to go here, depending on where you're headed. Whether you're headed to the mine, the prototype workshop, or straight up to the Lavaduct. Now I'm going to show you if we go left towards the Lavaduct as if this were the first intel, which will be coming up next, where the gates will be closed and you want to be able to skip those intels. So there's 3 different ways to get in. With one, you absolutely need everybody to have a bike, or at least have a couple. There is a way to push the bike back out so someone else could use it, but ideally, like I said, if you can come up this way and take your bike, when the gate is closed, there is still room if you go at an angle here to squeeze through in between the gate and small opening. Now, sometimes there's a truck there, sometimes there isn't. You could also use that to climb over. If you head to the right, if you're going to the mine or in this for this intel's sake, we're gonna head up to the bivouac here, and you can hit it right up top. The third way to get around the closed gates would be to base jump from up above the bivouac, which I will hope to show you as soon as I get up to the top here. Excuse me. Now, like I said, there's 7 intels in Sector 3, so there's 9 in Sector 1, 10 in Sector 2, 7 in Sector 3. So once you get to the top, if that gate is closed, which it will be for at certain times, you're going to climb up all the way up to where there's a rock. You'll see it next to the red line. The red line is not on the free roam map. It will not force you to cross the red line or even have the drones incoming. But if you climb up and get on the front corner of this rock, you can jump towards that little smoke hole to the left of it and follow that crevice down. And then just pull back a little bit on the stick, a little at a time, give you plenty of flight path to land right on the bridge. Sector 3, Intel 1, the nodes at Lavaduct. The travel just showed the way to get up there. First thing you want to do when you get here is find the generator in one of 3 locations. This will be the first location, either here. The second location is where it is right now, right there. And the third location, the hardest to take out, is right there. If you don't have anyone coming from the backside, you could always use C4 on a teammate's drone. Now the 4 node locations are as shown, 1, 2, 3, and then the 4th up top. Sector 3, Intel 2, hack and protect the Lavaduct node. This includes 2 Intel at Red Phoenix Outpost, which will be in, the first one will be in or around either one of those tents, and the second one is generally right behind there. Sometimes it'll be on the other side. The second one will make a wolf breacher appear with the snipers and rocket gunners up on the tanks over here. I suggest that you and a teammate take them all down with sync shots if possible. That way you're not stuck shooting at them and nobody accidentally kills the guy that you have to interrogate. Now, once we get close enough to sync shot all these guys, there should be, I believe, a maximum with the breacher of 5 of them up there, maybe 6 if it's a bad day. So you take all them out, get up on top. Your guy should be down right here. You can interrogate him generally without anybody bothering you. As you can see, I do have a drone below me. Not an issue. So clear your path. And then when you head down, your last step before you go up to protect the node is going to be the getting to the gate entry and hitting the node. There will be a purple dot at the main entrance to the Lavaduct. Now, a good way to split up here is to have 2 people go to Red Phoenix and 2 people go to the mine, and that way the people at Red Phoenix can go right up to the bivouac, wait for you to open the gates, and you and the person who went to the mine can open this gate. You can have two people coming from each direction and work your way to the node and hack it and head to Cerberus. Sector 3 until 3. I just put Sector 3 every stop because this one goes everywhere. Now, you're going to want to have at least one person, maybe two, take the boat over to Red Phoenix if you have two boats after supercomputer, which will only happen if you don't wipe. Here, you only have to get one intel, which will allow the person at the mine. We usually have two people come here just to wait to go to no man's land. One person can handle the mine, and one person can handle the panels at the prototype. So after someone gets the intel here, which will usually be right by the tent there, or maybe inside it, not necessarily always, but it'll usually be right down by this corner, so if you take out people in the vicinity, you won't have to worry about too much. After you get that intel and consult it, the person up at the mine will then be able to begin to grab their intel, which as you're doing this, they should be clearing, hopefully, should be clearing the top area where the sniper post is closest to this direction. I always stay over to that side because it's nowhere near the middle of the base, so it allows you to kill minimal enemies and get out of there a lot quicker. And also, once you're done with the mine, you can head up to the bivouac and base jump from down there, which I'll show in a minute. But this is the one where after you take out everybody in that general area at the mine, or even beforehand, depending on when they grab the intel, you want to fly your drone down into the mine here, and that guy usually won't spot your drone as long as you're not smashing it up against the ceiling. If they do start to spot it, just try and get through here as quickly as possible. And all you have to do is aim it at that map. And your second intel will then usually show up either right on that cell phone in the corner of the boxes, on top of the building where the sniper goes, or on the side of either of those two buildings. Almost always. It's always in one of those places. You don't have to go far. So, as you finish, you can start working your way up to the bivouac and wait for the person over here to be finished with the panels at the prototype workshop. Best way I have found is if you go out and go around coming in from the west, kinda, the more the southwest. You can usually sneak your way across the front without getting spotted. There is a sniper up top. Again, he shouldn't give you any issues. You'll just have to crawl your way under these pipes and then climb over the railing where the water side black box usually shows up. Which is right over here. There's one rock that allows you to climb over. Once you get over, it is handy, obviously, to know the panel locations. There's going to be one directly around the corner to the right all the way back under where the sniper is. There's one in the corner right ahead of you. And I'll show it right now, even though in free roam you can't see them. Right where that drone's icon is, there will be one. You can take that out without anybody noticing with your stealth ability on. And take it out with your knife, as you could do the same for the one in this corner over here without still alerting anybody. A lot of times there is a guy right around this corner that you'll have to take out. But right along the front end of this, right about here, second panel, take that out with the knife. Now, whether you want to shoot it or use your throwing ability to chuck an EMP, the third one will be right against the wall there. As you can see, obviously, again, there's nothing there. If it's not in that one, it's in the one just to the right of it. I cannot remember. But the throwing ability can make it very easily. Take an EMP over there. Now, to get out of here, you're not going to want to swim or walk, so you want to grab a vehicle. Once that explodes, they will be suspicious. They'll be yellow or dark yellow, which is actively searching. So I found that if you come around this way towards the water and sneak around the backside, that's the easiest way to get to the armored vehicles, which you could also leave the vehicle at the entrance that you brought over and go the long way back to that one. When you come up this back way, you do run the risk of getting spotted by the people on the back end here. As you can see, I'm not now because they're not alerted. But if you sneak and stay a little bit towards here, because off to my left there would be landmines in a live raid. There are one or two guys down here by the vehicles that you're going to need to take out during a raid. But you can go down and grab those, grab one of those vehicles and start making your way over to the bivouac as well. There's really no point unless the people are gonna that cleared Red Phoenix or that did Red Phoenix are gonna clear it. Your team should be heading to no man's land, so there's no reason you're gonna want to drive through it, Red Phoenix, because it'll probably be respawned by then. So if you make your way up to the bivouac, you can jump off the rock right there where the bivouac is and make your way all the way over to no man's land by parachute, landing wherever is easiest, back by the water or up on the hill, depending on which node you're going to, which your team should be able to communicate to you by then. They should be able to let you know which area might still have enemies or where they have cleared out or just what nodes they're standing and waiting at, depending. But once you hit all four, as you can see, I'm showing the landing zone here or up here. There's always a node on top of the building directly to the right here, right next to the observation tower. There's one down on the other side of the observation tower. I'll show them here. There's one on the roof. They'll have flares next to them on the ground, that one. Or a fire. There's the one by the water, where if you land over here by the water, you can come up the backside and take out the enemies. And the most exposed node is right over here in the middle. So once you take them out and get out of the base, you and your teammates can grab your bikes and you should have an opening to the boss. I'm going to show the bike travel up there because it can be very difficult if you take your time on the rocks. There's usually a helicopter or two that'll come in, and there's usually enemies on the slopes here and there. But if you can make it to the top with your bike in good health, then you're rewarded by not having to run across the top of the wall. And you can just ride your bike right across to the boss. The trick is when to not pop your tires on lava once you get up here. As you can see, you can ride up in between and ride right up that rock up in front of you, kind of like a ramp. And then just jump right off the left side once you pass the lava. This door will be open like it is now. And you can make your way to the boss fight. Wait for the teammates whose bikes didn't make it. Then you can just beat up on Cerberus. Okay. So, Intel 4 is the cave. I call it the cave, obviously, because there's one Intel in the cave. The first two Intel are at the prototype. Sometimes there's one at this building. Other times it's somewhere in this general area or up the road, just in front of the sniper, on the left side of the road. The second one is often over at that broken down behemoth, or along the back side where all these drones are, right over on that table behind the node. This is a very difficult part. Often good to have two people going here, grabbing that. And you could have one person waiting at the cave. The cave is below the bivouac, kind of. If you can't find the rocks, look for the green moss around the entrance. And actually now it's marked with a location marker. So you just look for the cell phone on the rock, which I had a little bit of trouble finding here, but it's right there. And then once you pick up that intel, a guy will appear below the sniper post next to the lowest tent at Red Phoenix. Not the sniper himself, but the gentleman below. That's the guy you have to interrogate, so you can do that without alerting the base. So where you want to split up here is usually two to the workshop, one to the cave, and one to Red Phoenix. And before you hit the boss fight, you just gotta come up the backside of the wall and unlock that node. That'll unlock Cerberus, and you can complete your business. Intel number 5 is protecting the bridge node at Red Phoenix Outpost. This requires 2 intel at the mine. Again, there's almost always 2 up on this side corner of the base, so you don't have to get too deep into it. That will allow to hack the node down at Red Phoenix. Usually have the person who did the mine go up and wait at the bivouac, while the 3 people who have just cleared out Red Phoenix can hack that node. There will be vehicles coming in the entrance every so often. Wolves spawning right down in between the tent and the rocks here. There will be heavies that spawn behind this rock, or behind the containers and the rocks, and guys that come up from the bottom and the side. Once the node is hacked, the bridge will be open, and those three people can take the vehicle up to the bivouac, while the person waiting up at the bivouac can come down here and take care of these three panels on their own. Now again, I do this with the extra throwing distance from the Explosives Expert perk and the purple gloves with the plus 40% throwing distance. And there's one panel right there that you have to take out. And one in the top of the tower. And then there's one inside of the building where the turret is, but in the room, it'll be right there. You can catch that by throwing it through the window. And I'll show you right here, you could actually see, as long as you have them all marked, as long as your wheel works as well. You throw one down here, and you'll be able to see the panel's marker explode. And then the other two you can kind of do on the run. Let's slow down here, make sure this one's going to stay up top and not bounce off. There you go. And that'll take out the one up top. By now everyone will be alerted and chasing you. And you just need to take one more and chuck it in one of the windows. Make sure it actually goes in the window. And make sure you get that one. Once you do that, you run out the backside and take a bike up the mountain. Meet your teammates at the boss. Intel number 6 is Interrogate at the elevator. So it's going to start with 2 at the prototype workshop. Again, this is the one where the first intel is almost always. Sometimes there's one in that building and another one on the roof, and you'll get lucky. But very often the first one is on the left side of the road on the way towards the main building. And the second one by the behemoth or around back. Again, that's another difficult one. Might want to have 2 people head over there for that. You're going to have one person head up right up to the bivouac as soon as you get up here. There will be 4 enemies in the observation tower where the elevator is. So, where the purple dot to begin the Cerberus fight is. Do not go in guns blazing. I recommend taking them all out with slingshot drones because you do have to interrogate one of them. And after you interrogate, there will also be an intel up there. So there's an interrogation and an intel that you have to grab from inside that tower. And as you're doing this, your other teammates should be clearing out the Scandium mine, the entire base, as the next step is to simultaneously hit all 4 nodes there. And once again, after you do that, it'll open the bridge, and you'll only need one person to go up from the bivouac after the Scandium mine. So that person you're going to want at the node closest. Usually I have this person do it because they can base jump right to it, but it depends. You can base jump right to the top of the building. The one on the left, you can base jump to any of them, obviously, from here. I'm just going to land up top just to show you guys which ones I'm talking about. 3 of them are easy to find. One's kind of difficult. Obviously, there's the one on top of the building that we have to hack. Um, there's that one, and that's the person we usually send over to get the next part. And there's one up top with the snipers and rocket gunners, and then the other one is over here on the side, built into that wall. Now, the person that was on the farthest side can go up to the bivouac and base jump down to the now that the bridge is unlocked and there's no red line, they can base jump right down to the node. It's not no man's land. A lot of people tend to accidentally go to no man's land. It's literally just there's a sniper post right across the bridge in Red Phoenix, and across the street, across the road from that sniper post, there's a lone node that you just have to do a little password hack, which will allow you and your teammates to get to the boss fight. So if one person floats down here, puts in the password, which is on this side of the node that I'm standing on right now. Usually you don't even have to hit that sniper. I just did because, well, to be safe. So you hack that, and then you run up this hill, but you're going to want to go thermal because there will be landmines on this entire run. And there may be a sniper on the building to your left here. Just keep an eye out. The landmines continue to the other side of the road. After that, you're home free. Until 7 is hack the Scandium mine. It's the building right on top of the Scandium mine. Usually we have 3 people stand on the rocks above where I am now. One person can hop down and hack. And you're able to take all the people that come up there, come out of the mines. And there will be cars that come in from the far side but go around and park over here. And then a helicopter that comes in from the far side. And that's all the Sector 3 intel, folks. I hope all these videos are helpful. And good luck to everybody. If you need anything else, go ahead and leave it in the comments. And we'll be sure to get right on top of it for you. Enjoy, everybody.